to Full Cup Astrology. I'm Jen Keane, and today I'm going to talk about the Gemini new moon happening Saturday, June 17th at 9:30 p.m. And I'm going to highlight 3 big things to watch out for this weekend, because this new moon is potentially full of things that might not be clear, and to be as bold as saying that this new moon has some deceptive qualities to it and some beautiful ones. So we could be swept away by smooth words and so things that look really good, and we want them to look and feel really good, so we go for it, but it might not actually be the full story. So let's get into a little bit more detail for the general overview of this full moon, and then I'm going to get into timestamps for each sign so you can look at your sun, moon, and rising and get a clearer clearer picture of what's going on in your life and how this new moon is showing up for you. So a Gemini new moon is already going to be more about thought and communication. There could be a lot of buzz. It's summer in the Northern Hemisphere, or approaching it shortly. Also Father's Day weekend, so there could be family gatherings and gatherings in general where there's a lot of buzz and communication, and Geminis are quick-minded, quick-witted. They like to talk, they like to socialize. Gemini energy really enjoys, there's a curiosity of understanding other people, understanding what's going on. And so you can expect themes around those Gemini things to come up. This is a really good time for setting intentions around communication and mind and any changes that you want to make in your personal life when it comes to those topics. So the first thing to look out for at the time of this new moon is deception and the tendency to escape into fantasy and what we want rather than what's actually going on. And this is an energy that might have some significance to it, as far as maybe the deception is helpful in some way. Maybe whatever is going on right now at the time of this new moon is not ideal to have all of the information right away. But with a Neptune square the moon, which is the only aspect that's in the sky that's actually happening right on the moon, and it's 1 degree away, so it's a pretty powerful one. And squares have the energy of something coming in from the inside, something from the outside, something potentially quick and action-oriented. And yes, square energy could be something that is forced from the outside, that is not someone's own will. Or it could be, you could be the one creating a deceptive situation for some reason. That also happens. So when it comes to Neptune square energy, there are a few things that this could cover. So deception is one piece. Neptune can dissolve something. So this could be a tower card moment, where something is dissolved before whatever is new comes in at the time of this new moon. You could watch for that. And it is also a time for fantasy and daydreaming. Neptune is the ruler of everything creative and beautiful and flowy and intuitive. So those are some of the things to focus on at this time, to manifest or use this energy in a way that might be more beneficial. It is a great time to practice meditation and really hone in on your own intuition and get into what is the deep, honest truth within you. And that's probably the best way to avoid any negative illusions from other people and outside circumstances. And it's a great time for art. So if you're an artist or you have been wanting to dabble in something creative and new, this is a really great time to start a project like that. So use this Neptune energy the best that you can. It can be very imaginative and creative and flowy and intuitive, and I hope that you find all of the beauty in that this weekend. And the second thing to watch out for this weekend for our new moon is the Venus-Mercury sextile, and that brings a very sweet, flowing communication. This is where somebody's words could feel intoxicating, and the feeling and image that those words create might not be what was said. So that, just to tie in the Neptune stuff again, that's very much where an opportunity for confusion could come into play. But overall, this is a really beautiful part of the sky right now, where if you have things to write or say or something you want to get across to somebody, then this is a really good time to express that, and it's probably going to go really well. The third thing is Saturn and Jupiter sextile, and that Saturn can sometimes bring qualities that we don't love as far as restriction and coldness, and Jupiter is almost the opposite energy, where it's expansive and creates growth and healing and optimism. And Saturn is the wise old man who says, well, wait a second, have you considered this? I've had this experience, we need to slow down. Everything's not all roses and rainbows, but we have the two communicating together in a really positive way. So to me, that says that the healing is there, the practical side of it is there. There may be some delays in exuberance or abundance, and that might be a good thing, because sometimes when Jupiter is really fired up, that's a time for indulgence. And with Neptune already in the mix, this Saturn energy seems to be a very good holding back or dampening of some of the other energy that's flowing this weekend. So I think that's going to be a very stabilizing point, and whatever comes up is also part of a healing journey as always, but Jupiter is speaking to that at the time of this new moon. So in general, this Gemini new moon is a really great time for communication and creativity of all kinds, especially with the self and with your inner world and one's connection to the unseen realms. So this is a great time to understand your connection personally to the unseen spiritual world in whatever way that means to you, and be really clear on that connection and how that helps navigate any possible illusion or deception in life, and get really to the bottom and the truth of things. This is also a wonderful time to just be creative and playful and see where that goes. I hope that everybody has a wonderful time with this energy and enjoys all of the play and creative flow that comes with it. And now let's get into all 12 signs and see how this energy is showing up specifically in your life. Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your new moon of the year, and I hope that all new beginnings that you are wanting to plant the seeds for and manifest are getting all of those perfect conditions this weekend. So this new moon is about you. It is about your body and your psychology, and it can really affect any area of life that you are looking to move forward. Neptune square and potential deception is coming from your 10th house. So you might have had people in power, male figures of authority, potentially trying to not be clear or have some deception in that way. Or maybe you've been just using your intuition more and learning how to use this in your work or your career and any position of authority or power that you have in your workplace. So watch for that. I think more around work and potentially a male figure. This can cover fathers, and so that could be significant at this Father's Day weekend. And Venus and Mercury's in your sign right now, and the beautiful energy between those two is connecting to your third house. So this has to do with siblings and neighbors, also communication. So it could be very romantic for you, but with these houses all combined, this very well could just be a lot of family stuff going on this weekend, a lot of communication and a lot of sweetness, I hope, going on the home front. So keep your eyes open, Gemini. If something doesn't feel good to you, if your intuition bells are going off that whatever that person is saying is a load of BS, then might be. If you just are thinking everything's feeling a bit foggy and unclear, just take your time. It's not a really great time at the time of new moons to initiate, so give it a little bit of space until you feel that clarity come through. See you soon, Gemini. Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This full moon for you is in your 12th house, and that is the sign, or the house rather, that Neptune rules. So there could be even more emphasis on unseen realms for you. This could have to do with past life connections. Soulmates are covered under that topic, or perhaps you are just in a space right now where your intuition and subconscious mind are more in the forefront. Neptune for you right now is in your 9th house, and that covers your spiritual beliefs and higher wisdom, how you see the world through those lenses, and can also cover institutional learning and academics. So there's a chance that what's happening in publications or academia is not as it seems at the moment. But there also is a stronger emphasis on what your spiritual connection is looking like right now, and where do you want to create stronger intuition and stronger connection to unseen realms, and what does that look like for you? And Venus is currently in your 2nd house of finances and worth and self-worth, and I think that all of these topics combined speak to you potentially at this time leaning heavily on your intuition to keep your assets and self-worth where you want them. If there's some chaos going on around you, or what you want to get off the ground at this time isn't completely clear, give it some time and really take this weekend to go inward and connect with that strong intuition that you have as a Cancerian, and that your connection to the unseen world. And I think you'll get more clarity there for whatever is going on in new beginnings for you right now. See you soon, Cancer. And for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this new moon is happening in the part of your chart that represents friendship, communities, and your allies, people that are here in this world to support you. And Neptune is in your 8th house of other people's money. This also rules connections and intimate connections with other people. So you could be having some really beautiful connections with your friends at this time, but there's also a chance that friendships or audiences or communities, if there's a financial involvement right now, it may or may not be clear. It may or may not be a good thing. So maybe just give it a little bit of time, or hone in on your intuition and see what feels right as far as moving forward. But if you can delay action a little bit past this new moon, that might be a good idea. And you have Venus and Mars in your sign for an extended stay. What a beautiful energy to have, especially Venus there. So you're going to be, you could be the one that has a lot of beautiful things to say at this time to other people. It's a really great time for getting attention from others and others seeing you in a very positive light. So I see this new moon as potentially having some new people in your corner, Leo, and that's gonna feel really great. It could have to do with money, and it could have to do with breaking down barriers to get to more intimate connections with others as well, and likely using your intuition to do so. This could also be something like learning psychic and just different ways of connecting with people non-verbally, and that maybe that's something that's being exercised at this time. So Leo, enjoy if something just doesn't feel right and doesn't feel clear, especially related to money and friends. Give it a little bit of time and then make your decision. See you soon. For Virgo, sun, moon, and rising, this new moon is in your 10th house. So you might be starting something brand new when it comes to career and honors and achievement and how you're seen in the world. It can also affect your status. So yeah, I hope that you're embarking on something really fun and new when it comes to your public image. And you have Neptune in your 7th house. So this deception is a bit stronger for you, and that it could be that somebody, and it could relate to contracts sometimes too, but generally things from other people are could feel a little bit foggy at this time. And if that's the case and it's work related, also just give yourself a bit of space until this blows over. This cloudy aspect of the energy is going to be better by midweek. So once we get a few days past the new moon, you might start to feel a little bit more clarity. Of course, whatever is starting right now, if this is just really a baby bud, then this could take 6 months before you're really fully seeing what's going to unfold from this one. And you have Venus in your 12th house, so you might currently be putting a little bit more focus on your connection to the unseen world. Your relationships might feel very faded, and past life connections at this time could play a big role. And this is going to be an extended stay for Venus in the 12th house. There could also be communication this weekend that maybe is from the unseen realm. That could happen, but it could be that whatever's said doesn't feel very clear, and you're not something's hidden with this. Maybe there's even a hidden relationship for Virgos out there. That's also a possibility. So with these 3 topics, there's a lot for Virgo going on right now that's hidden as well, and has to do with other people, maybe has to do with soul connections, and certainly how you're seen in the world and your career and your public image. So Virgos, if you're having a new beginning there, enjoy, and I will see you next time. For Libra, sun, moon, and rising, this new moon is happening in your 9th house. So this has to do with foreign places, foreign travel. This could have to do with your spiritual beliefs and your spiritual practices, or institutions of learning, higher learning, and higher wisdom. So you might be embarking on new education, Libra, or you might be on the precipice of new spiritual beliefs, and maybe even taking a trip somewhere. So look for those topics as far as planting the seeds for something new. Neptune is in your 6th house. So the day-to-day tasks that you do, the mundane tasks of life, those might not be so clear. So maybe you are using intuition more in your daily life. That's something that could be going on at this time. This also covers lawyers and officers and pets. So there could be some misguidance coming from those departments. That's for a very small fraction of you. And Venus is in your 11th house, so you're likely to have you could be having romantic connections with your friends. This could mean that money and fun and pleasure and beauty is coming from your networks and community. And maybe this is a little extra piece, but when Venus goes retrograde for the end of the summer, those topics might be up for revision. So in general though, Libra, this is about spirituality. This is about your higher mindset and where's your higher vision and what does it represent? And if there's anything in your day-to-day life that is creating fogginess around that, there are going to be questions to get to the bottom of more clarity for you in a spiritual sense. And perhaps some overseas travel for some of you. And if that's the case, definitely enjoy that, Libra. See you soon. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising. This new moon is happening in your 8th house. And for Scorpios, I think this is a perfect fit because Scorpio energy is the 8th house. And it is all about deep connections, deep psychological wounds sometimes. This is about, this can be about power. This can be a death and rebirth of some kind. Ultimately, I think that it speaks to your deepest intimate connections with other people and potentially financial matters with other people. So maybe something is coming in from someone else's resources, your partner's resources, that is unclear at the moment, but is planting the seeds at this time. So if maybe your partner's finances are not clear, this is a time to just be patient with that, let it slide through. It could have to do with kids with you too, Scorpio, because Neptune is in your 5th house. So if there's something unclear around children or your children, but this also covers play, everything that brings you joy. So maybe you and your partner are connecting in new ways when it comes to pleasure and joy and sex and fun. And yeah, all the topics that Scorpios are love to dive into. So this really feels catered to you at this time, Scorpio. And Venus is in your 10th house. So people are looking at you. You're looking good. You have, your public image right now is sharp and it's pleasurable for other people. It's what other people want to see. So you might have a lot of power right now, Scorpio. This might be a time that you're using your power and your position to have more fun and find more creative flow and joy in your life. So look for those themes, and I look forward to hearing how this one plays out for you, Scorpio. See you next time. Hello, Sagittarius friends. This new moon is happening in the house of partnerships for you. So you might be at the beginning of a brand new partnership. Right now, there could be some aspects from home that are creating some fogginess, and it might have to do with this new partnership. It might have to do with general partnerships overall connected to home. The 7th house rules everything that is other and significant others. So at the time of this new moon, new relationships could be starting, very significant relationships, and there could be dreamlike qualities that Neptune brings when it comes to home-related matters, or there could be some deception that's also happening at home. Things just not quite clear, and you want to ride that out a little bit. Give it a few days past the new moon on Saturday, so by mid next week, you'll be feeling hopefully a little bit more clarity and how to move forward. But whatever's starting now will take some time to unfold, and you'll have a clearer picture 6 months from now at the Gemini full moon. But Venus, when it comes to Venus is in your 9th house. So what you could be experiencing a lot of pleasure and beauty when it comes to foreign places and foreign people. This also is your spiritual mind and your spiritual purpose and your higher mind, higher vision of the world. So there's going to be an extra long stay with Venus in this part of your chart, and I think that looks like you could be going through a revision romantically with your purpose in life, and potentially a romantic situation or partnership is shifting your spiritual perspective slightly, and changing your mind, changing your higher mind, and changing how you view things. And that's always nice to get an upgrade in our perspective on the world. So this one looks like a fun one for you, Sagittarius, and I'll see you next time. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this Gemini new moon is happening in your 6th house, and that can cover mundane tasks, your day-to-day life. It is also an area of the chart that can speak to lawyers and pets and police officers, anything of that kind. But for most Capricorns, I think this is going to be a new step in how you operate in your day-to-day life. So maybe your morning routines and your evening routines are up for revision, and you're going to start including more meditative practices there. That's one possibility. Neptune is in your communication house right now, also short distance travel. So if you're taking any short trips this weekend, do look over the details really closely. If something is meant to be under the illusion aspect of Neptune, it's meant to be hidden, so that's okay. But there could be something to do with siblings or short distance travel or neighbors that is unclear at this time, and that's affecting your day-to-day life somehow. Venus is in your 8th house, and that could mean for Capricorns that you're enjoying intimate connections, or there's a topic around other people's money and resources, taxes and payouts that's coming up right now. With an extra long stay from Venus there, that topic is going to be something that might be ongoing for quite some time and not find full resolution until October. So keep that in mind. When Venus retrogrades at the end of July, it's not really a time for finalizing financial matters with other people. It is a time to revise, go over everything, and then after October you can plan for some forward motion and things completing potentially then. But this looks pretty practical for you, Capricorn, and you're a pretty practical sign, so I think you're gonna like that compared to some of the ungrounded parts of this lunation cycle. But enjoy, Capricorn, and I'll see you next time. And Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This new moon is happening in your 5th house. So for Aquarians out there, romance, pleasure, joy, new beginnings in those areas of your life are coming up this weekend. This could have to do with children for some of you. This could be one of those times where accidental pregnancies happen, or pregnancies that you weren't planning. So if that's the case, take some precautions there. If babies are not what you're looking for, and if they are, then this could be a blessing that comes out of nowhere. And Neptune is in your 2nd house, so there might be some fogginess around finances, your self-worth. You could be potentially having extra creativity in this department, and that might be more when it comes to self-worth. This really wouldn't be a great time for investing, making big investment changes or investing money. I don't see that, so watch out for that. For those Aquarians there, this is just a couple of week window, so if you can, hold off on that. And Venus is in your 7th house of partnerships, so you're getting that extra long stay of Venus in your 7th house. This could mean that there's a lot of focus on partnerships, romantic partnerships, are under revision or about to be going through some revision towards the end of July. And you could just be getting some really lovely, beautiful communication when it comes to other people in your life and significant partnerships especially. So Aquarius, this looks like this is hitting a lot of pleasure zones in your life, and this could have to do with some shifts with your finances and self-worth as well, and maybe some benefits from other people that are involved in that. So have fun. This is a really playful new moon for you, Aquarius. So enjoy this energy, and I'll see you next time. Hey Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. This new moon is in your 4th house. So you are going through some new beginnings, planting some seeds for new beginnings when it comes to home-related matters. So this could have to do with home, like where you're raised and how you're raised, and maybe some new beginnings when it comes to your mother. And this could have to do with your current practical home, and maybe you're having a new beginning when it comes to home. Neptune is in your sign, and Neptune is your ruler. So for you, of all people, I don't see this being the illusion or deception that some people might experience. For you, this is an optimal time for creativity and connecting to the unseen realm, using your intuition. And how does your intuition connect to your home-related matters? Where could there be some benefit to tuning into your inner world and how you handle and connect with your family? So look for topics around that. Venus is touring your 6th house, so work and day-to-day matters are looking pretty good for you, and it's going to be there for a little while. So if it comes to the things you do day-to-day for work and what that looks like, those could have extra Venusian vibes of pleasure and romance and beauty and fun. So if you're in creative work, Pisces, which a lot of you are, this is a really good time to boost your creativity, spend some time creating on your own and going within. And this one for Pisces could be very internal, but I see a lot of beautiful creation coming out of it. So enjoy, Pisces. And for Aries, sun, moon, and rising, this new moon is happening in your 3rd house. So this for you is short distance travel, topics around communication and mind, the day-to-day tasks that you do with your mind. And it could have to do with siblings and neighbors as well. So Neptune is in your 12th house. And so when it comes to connections to the unseen realm or something that's hidden and potentially deceptive, for you, this is probably more to do with your connection to the unseen world and your subconscious and your intuition than anybody out there deceiving you. I think this is a really internal one for you, Aries. So, and it's a journey that you've been going on for quite some time, but that might be accentuated right now. Something hidden when it comes to, or fogginess when it comes to your connection to the unseen realm or institutions of some kind. This covers institutions that remove you from society. So academia, universities are covered under there, hospitals and prisons. For a very small view of you, there could be some topics around that at this time. Venus is touring your 5th house for an extended amount of time, and this is romance. This is bliss. This is fun, joy. If you have children, there's a lot of pleasure and beauty and abundance happening with your children right now. And if it's romantic, there's just a lot of fun to be had for you Aries out there. So enjoy that. This looks like short trips are going on for you. Maybe you're doing some summer travel and having some good times there. You might have a tendency for escapism. That's one thing with Neptune in the 12th. So if you are yeah, looking for that type of fun, then there could be some tougher experiences that come out of this new moon just to show you where the limits are. But that's again a small section of you guys. So Aries overall looking like a lot of fun, and you guys know how to have fun, so enjoy this one. Hey Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. This new moon is happening in your second house of finances and self-worth and assets. So you might be going through some new beginnings when it comes to your financial and the values and the things that you hold, your values and the things you hold valuable. Neptune is in your 11th house of friends, networks, community at large. This is audience and the bigger, wider networks of support that you have in your life. So right now there could be some fogginess or lack of clarity when it comes to who's in your corner. And this might be encouraging you to look at your assets and values and self-worth in a different way. So if there's something that isn't quite clear when it comes to friendships, this is adding to your worth and finances somehow. So that feels a little unclear, and this is an unclear kind of new moon. So see what happens around those topics for you, Taurus. Venus right now is going to be in an extended stay in your home life. So this is your inner world. You could be having some really cozy romantic times at home, and maybe that's adding some sweetness to your assets and self-worth. If it has to do with friendships, there might be something there that's just not quite clear, and that'll come to light. Whatever's happening right now that isn't clear is meant to not be clear. So just putting that out there though, so that you know that if things feel foggy, that's okay. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this one, Taurus. As a practical sign, some of this more intangible energy at this new moon might not really be Taurus's deal. So just let it blow over. It's gonna pass through in a few days, and you'll hopefully be feeling a bit more sense of clarity. And yeah, for a new moon in Taurus, this is your jam. A new moon in Gemini, but this is your second house, Taurus, which is all about finance and where Taurus likes to land. So that's your jam. Hopefully it looks like finances are going really well. So enjoy. So all in all, this new moon is going to be most significant for Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Gemini. Whatever's happening right now, I hope that it is creative and full of beauty and dreamlike qualities like Neptune is. This has a lot of potential for being swept off your feet, and I hope that you're all enjoying that energy. Thank you so very much for everyone who's watching and subscribing. It means a lot to me and absolutely love it. And I'm really excited to be talking about some of this energy with all of you. So I hope you're having a great week and an even better weekend, and I will see you next time.